Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video, and welcome to a brand new series of videos that I am going to be doing in the future. This is going to be a impressions style video where I talk about video games or maybe even television shows, but mostly I'm going to focus on video games where I either talk about the first impressions, which means, like the first few hours of a game or something, or impressions where I talk about the entire game and do kind of like a review but more free-form, rambling, so I don't really need to do like tons of edits because I'm becoming more and more busy, and games are, I love games, but games, some of them just don't know when to quit. Like some games are like 30 hours long. I'm like, please bro, come on man, just wrap it up man. I mean, I love you, but stop. Witcher 3 was like 100 hours long. You need to slow it down. I don't got all this time, baby. I need to sleep, I need to eat foods, and I need to do other things that I'm not going to explain to people on camera why I do them. So, and I need to see all these movies. I need to see that new Dwayne Rocky Johnson movie. I need to do all this stuff. But anyway, I don't have all the time to do that and then do a review that takes so long. I'm not even gonna lie, I hate doing game reviews. That's why I haven't done them in a long time. They're so monotonous and boring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do impression style videos where I talk more free-forming, rambling, talk to you about what I like about this game, or maybe even a TV show in the future, maybe even movies in the future. I can't do first impressions for movies, but I can do an impression video for a movie where it's more free-form rambling. It's not like constructed or whatever. So here we go. Let's do it. The first one is going to be for a video game you might have heard of. This is going to be a first impressions, considering I didn't beat it yet, which I don't really think you can beat this one game. But this game is, of course, Pokemon Go, the most popular app like of all time at this point. I've heard it's actually passed Twitter in how many users are using it right now, which would make sense, a brand new thing. But passing Twitter that quickly, Jesus. But it's Pokemon. I should have expected that. It's free. Anybody can download it. Everybody has a phone that has a GPS in it. They can walk around, collect Pokemon. It's a great premise. I couldn't wait for this game. So I really actually want to talk about it and tell you what I think of this, because it's such a good premise. And when I heard it was coming, I was like, oh my god, that's such a good idea. I wanted this ever since I was a kid. A real, pretty much the realest it can get, real Pokemon game. It's genius. A real Pokemon game where you really walk around and, well, not really catch Pokemon, but the closest you can get to really catch Pokemon. It's brilliant. I could not wait for this game. I really couldn't. And it's out. And of course, there's problems, but for the most part, not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I did actually write out a list of things I want to talk about from positives to negatives. So we're just going to do this straight up. We're going to start off with positives, and then we're going to do negatives, okay? Pokemon Go, I'm not going to explain the premise itself, because I'm sure you know what it is. If you're watching this video, you're watching it just to hear what I think, not like, ooh, what the hell is Pokemon Go? If you really want to know what it is, I'm not going to explain it here. Don't need to. It'll be a waste of time. But I could say this. Pokemon Go is Pokemon, except you walk around yourself. That's pretty much the best explanation for it. It's you download on your phone, you pick your trainer, you can be a male or female, just like in a regular Pokemon game. You can name them, you can even customize them a little bit this time. You can actually give them different hats and stuff, him or her. Of course, it could be a her too. I don't want people calling me sexist. You can be either male or female. You can go on your way. You can name him or her, whatever you want to call him. Butt Juice, Grandmaster Flash, I don't know, whatever you want to call him. Butt sex. If you're weird, you can call them weird stuff like that. But whatever. You could be funny, my dick. Everybody's putting my dick because when you put my dick, it says try something longer. Haha, funny. Memes, hilarious. Pokemon Go. It's filled with memes. And it's filled with fake news stories for people that don't know. For people that do know it, I guess, because I'm not going to explain it. But, okay, so it's just Pokemon. You pick your trainer, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Professor tells you all about Pokemon, gives you a couple Pokeballs, tell you, hey, pick one of these first starter Pokemons. You get Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, just like in the original games. And you get to pick whatever one. And you go on your way, and you walk down real streets. You actually walk down your street, or you walk down or around your shopping center for whatever shopping centers around your house or whatever, and you actually start on the phone seeing Pokemon. And you click on them and you catch them. You can even use this AR thing, which is really cool, where you actually use your camera and you could see the Pokemon in the world. It's really, really cool. Problem is that the AR thing doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for me, sadly. I've seen a lot of videos and pictures of that AR thing. It's really cool. It doesn't work for my phone, so that sucks. That's a negative just personally for me because I can't use it. And my phone is brand new. My phone came out like April last year, so it's still a pretty new phone, so it should be able to do that, but it doesn't, sadly. Maybe it's a glitch in the app itself. Who knows? I've tried to look it up and I haven't gotten an answer. Maybe there's an answer now. I haven't tried in a little while. But anyway, so you get the premise. Okay, so all right, my positives. I wrote them down. I actually wrote them down right here. Oh, but hopefully I didn't spoil it. This is straight up already. Initial positive, the premise. The premise is genius. It really is. I already said that over and over again, but I had to write it down. That's a positive right there. The premise is freaking amazing. A tour de force. They should give the Nobel Peace Prize to whoever came up with this premise. You know why? Because we're going to be able to go anywhere now. Because and people that hate us in different countries will understand our plight because we have to get that Charizard. We can go to the Middle East right now, and you know what? They will be like, you know what? Come on over. We got Charizards. Come on over. And hey, they can come over here, they can get our Squirtles, and we can get their Charizards. I mean, that's not bad. That's a really bad trade-off because Squirtle is the first evolution, Charizard's the final for Charmander. But whatever, you get the point. Except that will never happen. But whatever, you get that. It's a great premise. It'll bring friends and family together. You'll be able to go outside more often if you're fat and lonely like me. You go outside. Walk down the streets, you'll see a lot of people. I mean, you already do see people on their phones all the time, but you're going to see way more people now. I went to the mall earlier today to pick up a game, and guess what? Everybody in the mall was just on their phones, and you know what they were doing? They were checking Twitter, but there was a lot of them also checking Pokemon Go. So that was really, really impressive. So Nintendo's whole thing about bringing people together and stuff and getting them out of the house and stuff, the whole premise is genius, and it totally worked. Major positives. Another positive is in the game, it actually uses real world stuff as locations. Like, say like you have a 7-Eleven near you. Like that 7-Eleven could actually work in the game as a certain thing. Like in the game you have Pokestops where you go, of course, and collect more items and stuff. Say you have no Pokeballs and you need Pokeballs. There are microtransactions, which is a negative, kind of, because I don't like microtransactions. But you can buy them, or you can drive up to a local 7-Eleven or something. It could be anything. It could be anything. And on the map, it'll say, like, hey, this is a Pokestop. You want to stop here and collect a couple of Pokeballs? And you can. You'll get, like, 5 Pokeballs or something, which is really cool. So it actually uses either stores or actual monuments as things in the game, which is really cool. Like, there's actually a Vietnam memorial thing near my house. That's actually one of them. That's a monument. You can go there and collect Pokeballs and collect Pokemon, which is offensive maybe if you're there and you're not, you're collecting Pikachus and shit. You're like, hey, Sergeant Ray Stevens, I'm sorry, there is a Bulbasaur on your grave. I need to collect that. Thank you. Thank you for your service, but thank you for the Bulbasaur. I gotta go. Peace. So maybe that's not the best thing to do, but there's other monuments. There's a dog statue I didn't even know about. That's actually another positive. There was a dog statue near my house I never even saw before. I never noticed it. I don't know how I didn't notice it because it's pretty big, but that's actually a Pokestop. So it actually uses real life things in the game. And I guess that's another positive, is that it actually makes you realize what is in the environment more now, because this game tells you, like, hey, there's a thing here. You want to go over there and collect a couple Pokeballs? I'm like, wait, what? There's a dog statue? I had no idea. So it actually informs you as well as keeps you entertained and keeps you, I guess, exercise. So that's a big plus right there. Also, what I really like, and this might not be everyone's liking, but the Pokemon that you find are very random. Like, you'll randomly find certain Pokemon. Like, you don't need to go near water to find a Lapras or whatever. At least not around here, because I found a lot of water Pokemon that were just randomly everywhere. So the Pokemon selection that you can get is very random. There's, I think, 250 Pokemon or 150 or something like that. So there's a lot of Pokemon to collect, and they're randomly dispersed. Like, randomly you'll just find like a Snorlax or I don't know, a Bulbasaur or something like that. Just like randomly. So that's really cool. It's good that it's not just like all... I mean, you'll find a lot of common ones. Like, you'll find a lot of Weedles and Pidgeys and Rattatatas, stuff like that. But there's a lot of random ones. Like, you won't just, like, start finding, you know, a lot of Raticates. You'll find a Raticate, and out of nowhere you'll find a Venonat or a Nidoran or something like that. It's very, very random in the way it disperses the Pokemon. Like, you'll find a Meowth. I found a Meowth, like, that was like my 4th Pokemon I found. So it's really cool. Like, it's always a surprise. You're not ever going, oh, let me guess. Oh, yep, they're all Rattatas. Big fucking surprise. There's times where you're like, oh, shit, that's a... What's the snail Pokemon? Not snail Pokemon. What's the Krabby? There you go. You'll find a Krabby out of nowhere, which is really cool. All right, so now to the negatives, because those are really good positives. All right, I mentioned how cool the whole experience is. You walk around, you get some exercise, you find random Pokemon. It shows you all the monuments. It's all cool when it works, and that's the problem. It's the first week. That's why this is first impressions. It'll probably get way better later on, but there is major problems with the connection issues and even glitches and just performance issues and even the presentation. The presentation is very lifeless. It's Pokemon. Pokemon has always been known to be, for the most part, when it was black and white, of course, or gray and monotone, or I mean not monotone, monochromatic or whatever it was back in the Game Boy days. But nowadays, Pokemon is known for all of its like vibrant colors and stuff like that. And for the most part, the Pokemon themselves look great. When you're capturing one, there is an environment where it's all like green foliage around. It looks pretty nice for the most part. But when you're in the overworld, where it's just a map, it looks like Google Maps. It really does. It looks like just a straight up map that you would see on Google Maps. It's very, very bland, and it's your character walking around in it, and it just doesn't look, first of all, it doesn't look like Pokemon at all, and it doesn't look appealing. Like, if I saw this, I had no idea what it was, and someone told me, like, you collect these monsters and stuff, and you showed me this, I'd be like, that looks lame. It would. It wouldn't capture me like a regular Pokemon game would. Luckily, I don't really care personally, but the presentation is definitely something that is a problem for... I mean, I guess I do care. So it is a problem. It's just not a big problem, but it is a problem. It's a problem. They should add more to it. And when you see the monuments and stuff, even the monuments, it's just like a blue square. You click on it, it says, "Hey, it's this thing." And when there's I didn't mention this, but there's actually gym bosses in it, which I can't talk about because I have yet to do a gym leader battle, which I heard the gameplay for that is really, really dumb. But I didn't do it because every time I tried, connection issues. That's kind of why I saved it for the negatives, because I couldn't freaking do it because connection issues. Oh, can't do it. Oh, the game froze. I have to restart my phone because the whole thing froze. It actually legitimately froze my phone. I couldn't get off of it, and my phone doesn't have like a button to press so it goes back to the main menu. So I had to shut off my phone. So there's problems like that, and it's really, really problematic at times, especially like when you're catching a Pokemon. You're like, finally, I got that, I don't know, Parasect or whatever, and you throw a ball at it, and the game like just starts either chugging or freezing. There was time where I caught a Pokemon, and the ball would stay in the middle of the screen and would do nothing, and it was there for a good like 2 minutes. I was like, and of course I restarted the phone, and guess what? That Pokemon wasn't in my collection, and it was nowhere near me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. The connection problems are so bad right now. There's times where you sign in and it says server issues, sorry, the servers are down right now, even though they definitely aren't. Hell, even signing into Google, because you can sign in through a Google account, even doing that, there's problems. Sometimes the friggin' Google thing doesn't show up, so I can't sign in, and I have to restart my phone or shut off the app again. So there's a lot of problems with the connection. That's really the main problem with this app right now. It's free. It's completely free. And they give you a good amount of Pokeballs for you to start off with. And again, if you go to the Pokestops or whatever, you can actually get more Pokeballs, of course. But if you're someone that doesn't really travel too much, you like to stay in your neighborhood or whatever, and there's no Pokestops in that neighborhood, like if you're a kid and you don't really go around too much, maybe your mom and dad are like, you know, always busy with work or something, or maybe you don't have a car and you're an adult, you know. If you don't want to walk around too much, you might run out of Pokeballs really quick. So you might have to do those microtransactions if you really want to play the game more. Or really walk far to get to a store or something. I know there's some places where, you know, there's not much around. I know people that live in pretty much barren wastelands that there's just nothing near for miles and miles. Maybe they fix that. Maybe they make it so that, yeah, there's one patch of dirt right here. For some reason, this is a monument. There you go. There's a Pokestop. But I don't know. But besides that, it's just mostly connection problems. The presentation, it's lifeless, but I got over it really quick. But yeah, that's really the only negatives I have for it. Oh, also, the gym battles, I heard the battle stuff, like actually doing the gym leader battles, it's not great. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say it's a negative. One thing I will say, though, about the gym stuff is that it's not really about the gym stuff, it's more about the gameplay itself. When you're catching these Pokemon, you're not fighting them. I don't know if you know this. It's literally, if a Pokemon shows up, you throw a Pokeball on them and hope they get captured. You can't really do much about it. I think you can give them like certain like items. Like I think you can give them bait or something like that to make them more susceptible to getting captured. But besides that, I don't think there's anything else you can really do. You can't really battle the Pokemon right now. There's no real battle system. Even when it comes to the gym leaders, from what I've heard, all you do is tap the screen and dodge or something like that. There's no real attack thing. I could be wrong. Again, this is first impressions. I'm not really sure. I've only played it for maybe a good 5 hours. So, yeah. Overall, it's a good little app. It's fun. It's not great right now, but it will get better. There's no way it won't. It's doing so well from what I've heard. It's Pokemon. Of course it's going to do well. It could be Pokemon, this app will give you cancer, and people will download it. It doesn't matter. People will download it. I would download it. I don't care. Fuck it, give me it. Give me cancer. I don't care. I'll play. I want to catch a fucking Pikachu. Pikachu is worth it. I love him. He's mine. So overall, if I had to give a score right now... I mean, I said way more positives than negatives, but really right now it's like a 7 out of 10. It's really good, but the connection issues really bring it down. Because I went out the other day. I actually went outside, which I don't do much. I went outside and walked around my neighborhood just so I could do that. And halfway, I was like down the block, like far away from my house, and then stopped working. It was like, server, I'm like, hey, you guys... And I walked all the way home looking like an asshole, restarting my phone to see if it worked. It still said it was down. By the time I got home, of course, it was fine. And I was like, I don't want to go back out. So there's problems like that. You know, you might drive all the way to somewhere, you know, to a certain, like, maybe spot that everybody goes to or whatever. And your game might just not work, and you have to go home or wait until it starts working. There's just things like that, which is a problem. But overall, I give it a 7 out of 10 right now. That's my first impressions review. I hope you enjoyed it. I got nothing else to say about Pokemon Go besides go and check it out, and that's not a pun. It was a pun. I punned. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.